Hello, I'm Eduard.Lebedyuk, sales engineer from InterSystems. A lot of my work involves building integrations, so I'm very excited about a new feature called PEX, allowing you to develop any part of interoperability production in Java and .NET languages. In this session, I'll show you how easily can it be done.
Extending interoperability with PEX and containers. And in this session, we'll talk about Java and .NET business hosts and our new exciting offerings in this area. We'll see a demo of how Java and .NET business hosts work in production, and we'll talk about debugging and deployment, specifically Dockerized deployment. After this session, you'll be able to develop any part of interoperability production in Java or .NET. You'll also learn how to deploy Java or .NET business hosts in containers. But first of all, let's talk about the gateways. In InterSystems IRIS, they provide a well-defined bridge between InterSystems IRIS and external languages. You can use Java.NET object from within object script, and the reverse is also true. From Java and .NET you can use object script object. Gateways provide a variety of deployment architectures. You can deploy them alongside InterSystems IRIS on a separate machine in the cloud or in Docker container. Java and .NET gateways are available today. Gateways are a foundation for Java and .NET business hosts, and they are entirely based on the gateway infrastructure available in InterSystems IRIS. Let's move to them. But first of all, Interoperability Productions, which is our main integration offering, and we do integration productions by separating the concerns into three ways: services, process, and operations. Services receive data from external systems. Operations send data to external systems, APIs, information systems, protocols, and so on. And processes do the control flow, orchestration, and contain the business logic. Furthermore, services and operations are separate, use adapters. Adapters contain the technical logic, technical implementations for protocols, and the underlying mechanics to talk to external systems, and services and operations contain more business-oriented logic. This way, each piece of interoperability production has only one purpose, and it makes it easier to debug and to understand what's going on, especially in big productions spanning hundreds of systems and many different protocols and messages and so on. The power of a production framework is you can quickly and easily develop with it, use many built-in components and code generators. Everything is persisted, so you can always check what messages were sent, how much time were they spent in processing, and if something went wrong, you can easily see where that happened. Each component can connect to any other component in a synchronous or asynchronous way. And our latest addition to productions is called Production Extensions, or PEX. It expands the library of adapters, allowing you to connect new protocols and systems by leveraging a large number of libraries available in Java and .NET. And you can use it anywhere in productions. It can be service, process, operations, and adapter. Everything can be written in Java and .NET. Here's how it looks like. In a gateway library, we provide interfaces for every type of a business host. So if you want to develop a Java business operation, for example, you extend business operation class and implement the required methods, and it's done. Inside your business operation, inside your business host, you can access InterSystems IRIS globals and objects. And as for messages, PEX hosts receive and return usual persistent messages. Additionally, they can work with special persistent JSON PEX message, and they can also extend it in Java and .NET to add additional functionality. Let's see how it works. For our demo, I'll show you a sample integration with Kafka. Kafka is a message queue containing queues called topics, into which we can write messages, calling producing messages, and from which we can read messages, which is called consuming. We'll write a Java business operation which would produce messages into Kafka, and after that we'll develop a .NET service which would consume messages from Kafka and send them back to InterSystems IRIS. Let's see it. Starting with Java business operation. Here is my class. It extends business operation interface, abstract class. First of all, I have two public settings. First of all, servers, which is the address of Kafka server, and second one is client, which is my client name. Next I have onInit method, which is run once on process startup, where I obtain a pointer to InterSystems IRIS for ease of use, and I actually connect to Kafka. There is also some logging going on. The logging methods correspond to the usual interoperability macros and would be visible in Visual Trace. We'll see them later. On teardown is a corresponding method to the onInit, and it's run once on the process shutdown. Finally, onMessage method is called every time business operation must process a next message. In our example, we assume that the message would have text and topic fields, which we get into local variables. We create a Kafka record and send it to Kafka. As an answer from Kafka, we get an offset, and we return it as some interoperability message of n's string container class. And in a production configuration, it looks like that. I have a Kafka producer operation, and all the settings are available. Well, PEX specific settings are available in this category. First of all, the class name. Next, settings, where to connect to. It's all running in Docker and actually available on OpenExchange. So if you want to reproduce this demo, it can be easily done. And host and port is where to connect to Java Gateway. Class path, if I want some additional jars, I can do that. Alright, let's test it. I am choosing Kafka request type and send a hello world message to a test topic. In Visual Trace, you can see that the logging we performed in a business operation is available in Visual Trace. We received the message of DC Kafka request. Let's go into Kafka and see that it received our message. Here's our test topic. Let's browse the data, and yeah, here's our message. Now let's read it in a business service. Here's our .NET business service. It extends business service and implements the required methods. We again have public property servers, where to connect to Kafka, topic, which topic to subscribe to, target config names, a comma-separated list of business hosts in interoperability to which we want to send our Kafka messages, which we consumed. Again, we have onInit method where we initialize our connections and also subscribe to a topic. On tier down, corresponding method where we disconnect from everything, and on process input is running in an endless cycle, consuming messages and sending them to targets as string container messages asynchronously. Let's enable our business service. Oh wait, settings. Right, so it's all the same. Remote class name, and I specify the class name, settings, target config names is BP, and we subscribe to the test topic, which we just sent a message with our Kafka producer operation, how to access gateway, .NET gateway, and the DLL with our library. Alright, I'm enabling it. And let's go to message viewer, and we'll see, yeah, here is our message, hello world. We received it from Kafka and sent to BP business host. Let's get back to our presentation. Debugging. Next part is debugging. First of all, logging methods corresponding to the usual macro available in interoperability are available here. Log info, log alert, log warning, error, and assert. You have seen them in work in a previous demo. Additionally, remote debugging is available with Java and .NET. So you have a running business operation, and same as you can debug usual business host written in object script while it's running. The same can be done for Java and .NET business hosts. Let's see it. So everything is running as a Docker container. For our Java gateway, it runs in a separate Docker container, and the Java virtual machine is started with this argument, which is start debug server on port 5005, and the port is also exposed, so we can connect with our IDE of choice. Here I'm starting the debugging session. We have already connected. I'm placing a breakpoint here in the middle of our onMessage method, so each time the operation would process a message, it would hit this breakpoint. Well, it should. Let's try it. I'm creating a new request, again with a test topic, and just 1, 2, 3. Okay. As you can see, we have hit the breakpoint, and we see that our text and topic is available in variables view. Request is also available, which is important if we have more than 2 properties. So as you can see, debugging also works. In this case, we're like with a remote kinda debugging, because the Java virtual machine runs inside a container, but IDE is running on a host machine, and they could be run on entirely separate servers. It's not a problem. The remote debugging is still possible, and the same holds true for Java and for .NET. So regardless of which way you want to develop, you can debug it business hosts in real time. And see, we have sent the message to Kafka successfully and got the new offset. Next part, after you developed your library and debugged it, is deployment. I'm not going to talk a lot about native deployment. It's, I hope, fairly well understood by this point, but Docker deployment contains some additional challenges which I would like to talk about, and the solution for these challenges is multi-stage builds. The idea is we can use a big image to do a lot of heavy work, and after that disregard that and use a slim image to get the minimal runnable product. So for our Java example, I'm start with complete OpenJDK as a builder, copy Java gateway libraries, jar files from InterSystems community image available on OpenExchange. After that I copy the project and run Java compiler or use build systems such as Maven and Gradle to produce jars for our library. And after that I'm using lightweight Java gateway image, community-based image, and just copy into it the compiled jar files. .NET is absolutely the same, only I'm using the .NET Core SDK to build and .NET Core 2.1 runtime to run the library. And that's it for deployment. On InterSystems community there is an article describing the steps required for deploying Java.NET gateway deployment in container. Check it out. To sum up, you can now develop any part of interoperability production in Java or .NET. There is minimal development required. There is no more proxy class generation going on. You can deploy natively or in Docker, and you can use large amount of libraries available in Java and .NET. And PEX for Python is coming next year. Some additional sessions. If you're interested in Kafka, Kafka session would be for you, presenting a much more real-life Kafka integration from InterSystems IRIS, because again, I'd like to repeat myself, it is only learning sample and not production grade code I was showing you today. If you're interested in Java, check IRIS Java Client SDK. There are many more ways to connect Java application to InterSystems IRIS. Check them out. And if you're interested in Python, visit embedded Python sessions. Here are some resources available for this session. There is documentation. This demo is available on OpenExchange. There is also tech talk about PEX, which is available in recording, and the code available in the repository. Check it out. You can write me an email if you have any questions, or connect with me on LinkedIn. And if you have any questions right now, it would be just a time to ask them. And with that, thank you for your attention.